What's going on? I'm Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo! This week, a movie that might as well be the one we did last week with a couple of small changes. But hey, man, if it ain't broke and it's the fifth highest grossing movie of that year, don't fix it.
I would like to say small, but arguably significant. Like, I don't think these are nothing changes that were done. To the point where I think we're watching a different movie. But we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We're going to get to all of the things from Jumanji, the next level. That's what it's called, right? Level up, level to level. Yeah. Jumanji, the next level. It's going to be amazing. Listen, we saw it. I don't think the spoilers matter, but there's like one at the end that will blow your mind.
Yeah,
that I think will tell you when to hide from that one.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I had a prediction for the movie, and Nando, I assume it would be similar to what your prediction was, and I was so wrong with regards to like what happens to a certain character at the end. Like, you think you know, because the movie kind of foreshadows, but no. It's not that at all. It's crazy. I was talking to a lot of people who very much enjoyed our last week's episode, but I asked a couple of them, like, hey, are you going to watch the new one? And they were like, of course not. So I think this is a message to all of you guys. Keep listening anyway. It's fine. Very few things will surprise you until the end, and we will tell you, like, hey, man, if you don't want to listen, just give it 6 months until you watch this on HBO, and then come back and listen to the podcast, because it's just as good. For a second round, it's just as good. Oh yeah. This silly movie.
So okay, all right, we're gonna talk not spoilers and then spoilers. I have a wheel of stuff. We already did last week. We did Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and during that, we also kind of did a recap of what we knew about the first Jumanji. The first Jumanji, I guess is what we'll have to call it. So we don't have to do any of that now. Let's start here, DJ. So this movie came out this week.
Yep.
It stars. Who does it star? It stars The Rock, the Tooth Fairy Johnson,
Woohoo!
Kevin, the groomsman, or what was that movie where he was like he had to be a secret rentable groomsman?
Oh,
remember
God.
that?
I don't know.
It was with the snowman and from Olaf, and they were all like. He was like, I'm a nerd, and Kevin Hart was like, I'm cool, and I'll make you a cool... I don't know.
I have no earthly idea what you're talking about. I was going to go with...
It was a movie.
What about... Okay, no, keep going with yours. I had a different
tweet
one.
us if you remember what that movie is. It's not The Wedding Date, because that's a different one, but it's like The Wedding Dude or something like that.
The Wedding Dude.
Yeah.
What about Night School? What if we say Kevin the Night School?
So I have a real
Night
hard
School?
time with that. Yes, I do. And I know there were two movies that came out that starred a combined Charlie Day, Ice-T, the Tiffany Haddish, and Kevin Hart. I can never remember which two were in which movies with the other two because they both had the same poster. It was both like a guy in a hallway of the school leaning on a locker, and they came out kind of around the same time. I suck at remembering which of those is which. I think you're right. It is Night School is the one with her, right?
Yes, it is.
Because, like, I can see you swapping them. Well, I guess it's because Kevin Hart is also Kevin the Ride-Along Hart, and he already has a history with Ice Cube.
God, man, Kevin Hart killing it.
There's like 8 actors in Hollywood, and they just all switch. It's an actor commune, and they just someone wakes up in the morning every day and it's like you know what it's like? It's like in those movies where that the movie starts in a hard time where work is scarce, like even like Pacific Rim, and there's just a bunch of construction workers, and someone brings out a clipboard in the morning and says, "All right, I need Rogers, Martinez, and Lebowski. Everybody else can go home." I think that's how they cast movies either. I need Tiffany Haddish, Kevin Hart, and Charlie Day. Everybody else, we'll give you a movie tomorrow.
It feels like that.
I mean, it's working, apparently. They get the guys that don't, if you don't do well, you get cycled out. But if you stick around, you're going to make $1 million movies until you... who else is in this? You got Jack.
Black.
The School of Rock Black.
Yes. I see what we're doing
who's
now.
the other... Who else is back? There's a fourth one, right?
The Ruby Roundhouse.
Oh, right. Karen, the
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Gillen. Yeah. I think she's Doctor Who. I think that's like her main claim. But also, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Those 4 are back and better than ever. Specifically one of them. One's better, one's worse. Yeah. Otherwise, pretty good.
So I would say, and I won't say who, but I think you get pretty better, worse, same,
different.
Better. I'm gonna go better, worse, same, worse.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go better, worse, same.
Okay. So we're different on one of the things.
I specifically mean I don't think that one character you're talking about is better or worse. I just think it's different. I enjoyed it about as much as the last one, but it's clearly the other 2 are clearly better and worse. That one I'm just like, you know what? If that was the first time I ever saw this one, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. Obviously it's a whole bag of problems, but still, for what it is, I think it's pretty good. Okay, so as you returning characters, the kids are also there. Who cares?
Agreed.
You have new returning. Oh, and then what's his name? Nick the Levels Jonas is back as swarthy pirate guy or whatever. He's fine, or not pirate, pilot. Ugh. They need a pirate in these movies.
That would be so fun. The
next
version
one.
of Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji the High Seas. Let's do it. I mean, it's not. We'll talk about where this franchise is probably going. But spoiler
right
alert, it ain't the High Seas.
It's going right to hell, and I'm not ready for it.
But yeah, so he's back, and then Tom Hanks' son is also back for like a minute and a half, just so he can have been in it. On top of that, you got new stars. Danny DeVito, a young hot name in Hollywood. Daniel DeVito plays Danny DeVito, but a little less, like less aggressive than usual, I think.
Which is strange, because some people play more Danny DeVito than Danny DeVito in this fucking movie.
Yes, I agree, and he's just kind of like he's an old man, which I've never seen Danny DeVito as that, but he's probably kind of old, right? Like. How old do you think Danny DeVito is?
I was thinking he's got to be like 60, right? But I think this is where we're going with Danny DeVito.
I think he might be in his 70s. He was in Taxi in the 70s. Like, he's 75. Wow. Yeah. You know he's from Neptune?
Shit. I did not.
Yeah, he's a New Jerseyite.
We get so many of those, like, surprise ones.
I know,
like,
right?
They're from New Jersey.
Because you go to New York, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to try to be an actor, but it's not that much of a problem for you, you know? Or you do stand-up or some sort of comedy, like I'm assuming. Anyway, he's there. The other main character is Danny Glover, is another old man.
Yeah. I actually like Danny Glover, but I like Danny Glover in most things, so yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if I'm ever here for not Danny Glover, so...
Yeah, they were good. The only other character of consequence is this movie's villain, who is Rory something from Game of Thrones. He's the Hound.
Can I say something?
Oh, sorry, I forgot one other one. But yes, go on.
Oh, I was going to say. So I realized, if you like watch Game of Thrones, you realize it's him immediately, just because he has that voice, and you know he keeps that same. But sorry, I was sorry if I shut off. I was like really happy that he was here for no particular reason, but I enjoyed it.
He got a nice big check, I'm assuming. Like,
oh yeah,
and he was
big
fine.
check.
His character stood around a lot, until he didn't.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do anything, but
nothing.
I will say if we dinged the movie last time that like all the characters are NPCs except for like the boss. This boss was closer to an NPC, so good job, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say the NPCs in general were more consistent, and that was kind of fun. The way that one character specifically played with that, I quite enjoyed. Only other character of consequence, I feel bad I forgot about her. Aquafina was in this as a DLC character, I guess. Yeah, I liked her.
I did too.
Surprisingly, like, you know, I don't not like her. I just haven't liked her in a couple things I've seen. Like, I mean, I didn't love her in Ocean's 8, and but I haven't seen The Farewell. Have you seen The Farewell? I think we talked about this. Oh no, okay. I hear it's very good. So I kind of want to see it now.
There's only one thing she does in this movie, which we'll talk about, that I really don't like, but it's not her fault in any way whatsoever. It's the fucking movie's fault. So I am not, like, be very clear, I did not like a thing she did, and I do not put that on her at all. It's this goddamn movie with its goddamn stupid priorities.
This is the most mysterious introduction to anything we've ever given. Like, even though the point of this movie and all the things we're going to reveal to you are so dumb and predictable, we're describing it like, and then someone who we can't name until now does something. And when you see it, you'll know what it is, and you'll have a very extreme reaction, maybe positive, maybe negative. Ooh,
that's pretty. We're being way too vague.
So coy.
Yeah, let's get into it then.
We'll talk about the actual stuff. Yeah. Just like high level, DJ, what'd you think of this movie?
I wasn't really
like better than the other one?
By a hair, pun intended. No, damn it,
pun
that's
intended.
The wrong thing. Never mind. We're gonna blow right past that. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, cool.
Just forget.
Yeah, I think it's fine. If I had a kid and I wanted to take them to something so they would be quiet for 2 hours, this would be about right. I think there was enough fun stuff for adults and fun stuff for kids. Characters fell, made funny faces, and also it was kind of fun to watch. You know what I think? As an upgrade, probably because of the budget being higher, because the last one made $1 billion, I think it looked pretty good. There were some special effects. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I give it. Yeah, sure. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think. The story of this one is, because one of the characters, because Spencer, the main kid, the one from Hereditary that bangs his head on the desk, because he is lonely, he does a Jumanji. And then all the kids go check on him, and they do a Jumanji. But also maybe Danny DeVito does a Jumanji. And it's a different Jumanji for some reason. It is almost like this is a knockoff movie of Jumanji, and they're like, all right, so we'll like make them do a Jumanji, but it'll be in a slightly different place, and the characters will have slightly different powers. That way we can't get sued.
It would be like if instead of calling it Jumanji, we called it like Jumanji.
Yes.
Like that's
Falunji.
Okay, so can I say something here?
Yes. Oh, of course.
I actually don't hate the opening premise of this movie, but I hate like everything after it and the execution. Like the idea, like just the idea. We should do it somewhere that isn't Jumanji, but the kid is like unsure and maybe depressed. I don't know if they're actually going for depression, but like an unsure like 20-something-year-old.
Yeah, like homesick, kind of can't make his way in the world, misses his girlfriend or whatever.
Like, that's definitely what we're working with. The idea that he would want to relive, like, the glory days when he was a big, strong man like The Rock, like, makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't think that's a crazy premise. Everything else, though, like, going back into Jumanji and all the other shit is insane. But, like, just that idea, I was kind of on board with.
Well, and that's kind of the big question I had coming out of Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, was, like, how will these kids, like him and then Jack Black, the one with the dick, that's a girl, how will they deal with the fact that they aren't the thing they were anymore, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, and they're so different, you know? That just feels like it must be weird. I don't know. I wonder if in the future, do you think, like, let's say in, like, 10 years when VR is really caught up and there's, like, Ready Player One suits that make you feel everything, do you think we'll have that where people will play a game and you'll be, like, Dr., you know, Superior Bravestone, whatever his name is, and you'll come out of the game and you'll get like a depression from not being the cool guy anymore?
Maybe. That's not a crazy idea.
Yeah, I wonder.
And then that goes to the whole, wait, just live there. Why would I live in this shit real world? I want to live there.
Exactly. Ignorance and all that, who cares? Like The Matrix, there's always one guy in a movie like that who like in Matrix, it's Joe Pantoliano is like, I like The Matrix. I like eating a fake steak and a spoon or whatever. I always commiserate with that guy. I'm always like, yeah, if it was me, I'd probably want to do what you're doing too. I understand why they want to free everybody, but your thing sounds fun.
It should be optional.
Blame.
It should be like, you want to go back? Like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, DJ, how do you subscribe, or like, how do you feel about that theory? And we'll get to Jumanji right after this, that we're all in a simulation. Have you examined that?
I haven't examined it in any meaningful way. It's like, sure, whatever. But to me, right, it's like, I don't know if I am or am not. So, it doesn't make me feel any differently about the...
Right. So, yeah, I don't have strong feelings about it one way or the other. Everyone that's explained it to me is like, we are. And I'm like, all right, probably.
Yeah, cool. Sure.
You're a smart person. Unless they're
gonna wake me up and be like, oh, here you are. I'd be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It is great simulation.
Awesome simulation.
You nailed it.
I mean, if you could simulation, I don't know how this works, if there's like somebody running it or if it's just happening, but if there's somebody running it now and you could turn me into The Rock, that would be sick. I'll even take Nick Jonas. Those two are the only acceptable ones.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Kevin Hart. I mean, I'll be him in real life. You wouldn't
be Ruby Roundhouse?
I don't know. It's a girl. That's like not my... I'll take a guy, please.
All right.
I mean, if I'm in that game and I have to do stuff, I'll definitely take her because she is one of the two capable characters. They can pretty much fly. She's one of the two Super Saiyans in this team
right.
full of like nerds and Super Saiyans. But yeah. All right, let's talk about the movie. So I have a wheel, 10 things. We're going to spoil it, but it's only because we can't really talk about the plot without explaining the plot. And like, you kind of get a sense for it in the trailer, but the details that are fun to talk about are pretty, like, I don't know, not things you'd see coming from a mile away.
Yeah, it's true.
So I have 10 things on this wheel. I'm gonna spin it. It's gonna fall into the order we have predetermined. Because this is a simulation, as we all know. And yeah, this spoils the movie. I'll tell you when to skip. The last thing is the one that it's like, maybe watch the movie just to see how bonkers that is. But we're going to talk about all the other things, and we'll do that one. All right, DJ, I'm going to spin the wheel. You ready?
Yes.
Tick, 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 tick. Okay, so it landed on one thing we already said, but I have to say it because it's on the wheel. You don't hate the premise of this movie.
Oh, I realized I jumped the gun with that. Yeah, no,
it's okay.
It's yeah, boy wants to be The Rock again. Of course that makes sense. I do wonder. So there's one thing about the movie that's like pretty dumb is that he wants to go and be The Rock again, and he doesn't say that, but it becomes like fairly obvious. So his friends are like, "Oh my God, where'd he go?" And then they realize he went into the video game. I wish we saw him more with that struggle, because given like the near-death experience of last time, although I guess you could argue that they were fine, or at least he was fine. Like questioning, do I really go in? Like, do I through with this? We don't get to see any of that. Might have been worthwhile to do a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like 2 hours plus. So
yeah,
I think we could have maybe cut some stuff in the beginning that was like set up, but I understand why we needed most of it, where the kids are like, where's Spencer? Why isn't he coming to hang out? And like, whatever. But if we had kept him, if we had done a little bit of that might have been fun. Maybe we could have done that as a flashback later. I'd be like, so why did you do it? And you'd see him be sad. I also want to see him stumble through Jumanji by himself and just because so many of this, it's so annoying to me. Everything is set up, pay off immediately, and you like read it and you're like, okay, I get it. Like this one's skill in this is, it could talk to animals. So one of the parts is going to be, you're going to have to talk to animals. Fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you didn't have every single member of the team, you just had to do it yourself, there would be tests you just can't do. Like, yep. So that part's tough. I was going to say, I think it's very interesting that in 5 years later or whatever, 2 years later, they're all the best of friends. Like
right.
It is completely, this afternoon of theirs completely changed their lives.
Oh, yeah. And maybe for the better? Who knows?
I mean, they're all doing okay, except for Spencer. And then I guess Ruby Roundhouse is one seems to also kind of have some issues. But like the Fridge and the blonde one are killing it.
Yeah.
So good for them. Okay. I'm going to spin the wheel. I'm going to ask a question, DJ. It might even be a question we've asked before, but we have more information and it makes even less sense. DJ, what is Jumanji?
I don't know.
I know less.
I have no idea.
the information the movie presents to us is dumb and it doesn't work.
Is Jumanji an idea?
Is it an actual video game with wires?
I don't know.
Like, in the end of the...
Go ahead.
No, you say your thing, because I'm going to give an explanation for a thing.
I was going to say, like, I think it's a wizard. I think Jumanji's a wizard. I think...
The wizard Jumanjo, he's the thing, yeah.
I think what you said last episode, given our new set of information, makes total sense.
Well, so here's how this because I don't remember, we must have seen this in the last one. Yeah, I kind of remember this. In the end of the first new one, they crush the Jumanji, like, console.
Yep.
Because they're like, no one should have this power. Then Spencer, we learn in this movie, and I don't remember, maybe he did in that one too, gets it. He goes back and gets it. Because he's like, I'm not so sure.
Are we sure we want to get rid of Jumanjo? Like, Jumanjo might be a cool guy. So
yeah. Maybe he's trapped in there. He's their level.
Yeah. Jumanjo's the hero of this.
And so we learn that, Spencer has gotten the broken Jumanji, right? Like, it has been cracked. I presume motherboards in it have been cracked, but it doesn't matter. And he has done science, like electrical engineering, to fix the game. The game that is a magic spell. Like, what did he connect to what? Did the game, like, I get being a board game, it made pieces, and they are little wooden pieces like they are. But in this, it's like, did the game, it's not a real game, right? It's like it looks like a game, but it's just like a magic portal to Jumanji.
Right, exactly. There's no game. The game is because this movie takes place in 2019. That's why it's a game.
Right.
If it were, oh God, like we said, if it were 100 years from now, it's some weird VR set or whatever.
But this kid is able to rewire Jumanji mostly. Like, he's able to get it hooked up. I remember in the first movie, Jumanji didn't even need power. It was like, is it plugged in? No, it's not. So, like, what is he rewiring? Like, the magical energy of Jumanjo that is flowing through these... Does Jumanji, like, it turns into a real game? It just is like, if Jumanji was beaten to death with that bat and they never got it back, would it be dead?
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe, like, Jumanji... The real secret to Jumanjo is that because it can, like, influence... humans, is that it could force itself being fixed. I don't know, man. This is so confusing.
Well, so, like, one of the things they theorized last week is the wizard Jumanjo created Jumanji to eat kids. The other one was he created it to teach them lessons. I don't think either of those match with what we're learning from this movie, because so Spencer fixes Jumanji, but it is broken and it malfunctions. Like, it doesn't, the kids don't get to pick their avatars properly, and then they just kind of show up. But it's not like they show up in an avatar that would teach them the best lesson, because some of them just get the same one. Whatever.
So here's my theory on this, and because I have to rationalize this stupid movie. I think that Jumanji is teaching the kids a lesson who need a lesson taught to them. So let's go through it, right? Spencer becomes, we'll get back, we'll do Spencer last.
Yeah.
Mara, whatever her name is, she...
Redhead or blonde?
Huh? No, the
Redhead,
blonde's
right?
Bethany, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I don't remember. Yes, Meredith is the name I keep.
Redhead, she stays at Ruby Roundhouse. She does not need a lesson until... All right, cool.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And then, Bethany...
Fridge. Or
I was going to say, Bethany also doesn't need a lesson, so she doesn't get sucked yes.
But she also eventually gets the most confusing lesson learning, like, guy.
Yeah, okay. And then Fridge needs to learn to be more adaptable.
Sure.
And then Spencer, well, you can talk about Spencer. His lesson's, like, the most obvious one.
I don't know but how does being an Asian lady pickpocket, how does that teach you that lesson, besides just like hope you get Spencer or hope you get the big strong one? But
well, he doesn't. He turned into who he is, right? He's just like a wimpy little, not confident, is crafty, but just kind of a loser, and that's who he gets turned into. He does not get his fantasy of being the Rock. Sorry, Spencer.
Yeah,
That's
true.
like my only like justification where I could kind of be like, yeah, this makes sense, right?
And then whatever Uncle Danny DeVito does get to be The Rock, and Uncle whatever his name is,
Milo,
Donald Glover, Danny Glover. I hate. Uncle Milo becomes Kevin Hart's guy. So
yeah,
I don't understand Jumanji, but also I think in the next movie we will learn less about Jumanji. So I don't care. I kind of care because I'm just curious. I want to know what the writers think it is.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do for the next movie. I have been thrown for a loop.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it. I have an idea.
Yeah, that's our last thing. Don't worry, everyone. The suspense is totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, us not telling them what it is, like, it's totally worth it. The wait's...
DJ, I'm going to spin the wheel. Actually, it landed on one of yours.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, give me your best Danny DeVito impression.
Oh, my God. Okay, so, now, in the first one, right, they all more or less talked like their characters, except for Bethany, right? Or Jack Black.
Yeah, but even him, he's just kind of, I guess it's less of an impression and more of an affectation with him. Like, he is speaking the way that the girl speaks, but he still sounds like Jack Black. Kind of. Right. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But, like, I get the sense that if that character was, I don't know, maybe that's actually not correct. But it doesn't feel as much like what we're going to get to.
Yeah, because, like, in the first one, Jack Black is like, hey, everyone, oh my God, neat, like, everything's so great. But his tone and pitch are still Jack Black. It's not like he's like, hi, everyone, great to see you. Everything's not, like, there's a difference. There's a clear difference. In this one, The Rock is, like, doing his best Danny DeVito. Hey!
But it's the worst Danny DeVito. You would never guess that's a Danny DeVito impression if you didn't know it was a Danny DeVito impression.
I first saw him and I'm like, oh, is he British now? Are they just making Bravestone British?
I'm trying to think of what that impression is. Can you do an impression of the impression? I know this is really third order. But...
Let me do my best. Hey, so what am I in a video game? Hey, I'm a tough guy. Bit. I'm strong. Hey, what?
Yeah,
Spencer, is that you? That's not Spencer. My nephew's a guy. That's a girl. Yeah. Milo,
I'm not.
What are you doing, Milo? Yeah, it's weird.
I'm not convinced The Rock knows who DeVito is. I don't think they had met before they filmed, and they were just like, "Who's Danny DeVito?" I know he's this guy. He's from Jersey. Do that because it is like, "Hey, everybody, it's me, The Rock." He sounds like there's like a cartoon character. Hey, he sounds like the rat from Cat Dog. Like, hey, let's get the Jumanji. Let's go to a Jumanji. Whereas, like, I don't think I'm, great at impressions, but I do think a Danny DeVito impression, because of stuff like Always Sunny that's super quotable, I think we all kind of know what it is. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm the trash man. I eat trash. Like,
you gotta pay the troll
what The Rock
toll.
Does at all.
Yeah.
We're getting whores. They're going to get whores, and this is where Ben Franklin danged all the whores. And, it's so weird that The Rock goes up with his accent. He raises his voice instead of goes down, because that's how you do it.
Or even, like, I don't know, take Phil from Hercules.
Yeah, right, yeah. Get gravelly. That's a Danny DeVito
Rule number
accent.
2, kid. Rule number 2. Don't drop your sword. Save the damsel. Like, oh, God.
Hey, Matilda. You gotta do Matilda.
Yes.
I'm gonna make your life miserable, Matilda. Like, yeah, I honestly don't think he knows who he is. Which is a shame, because Danny DeVito's great.
And it's like, it's not like in the first movie, The Rock is like kind of like, oh, hey, everyone. Are we in a video game right now? He sounds like the fucking Rock. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And they've already cast the movie because it's a sequel. It almost seems like if they were going to cast, like, whatever, if for the first one, and it's the same, similar premise, that 2 old people and 2 young people get sucked into a video game. All right, everyone, it's the first day of casting here. To start, could you all just give us your best Danny DeVito impersonation, please? And they just picked the worst one.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it just, I think Danny DeVito was they did them all, and they showed those videos to Danny DeVito because, like I said, The Rock couldn't have seen him, or maybe he was behind like mirror glass, and Danny DeVito was like, "I want to be The Rock," and the producers were like, "I don't think that's the one you should pick," and he's like, "I don't care. He's a big cool guy, and I like him." Because I think if I were casting this, I would bet Karen Gillan could do the best one. Considering what Jack Black is, he kind of fits into a pretty specific role. And I'm like, yeah, he's probably the only one that can get away with that. So then I'd say make The Rock the redhead girl in like when she goes. So now she's the most capable. And then make Danny DeVito house. Yeah. Because I think she could probably do the best impression. That's just a guess. But she does a lot of voice work. Like The Rock doesn't do voice work. It's not his thing. He's usually just The Rock. Which is fine. He's good at it, and he seems great. But it is weird that they were like, well, obviously he has to be The Rock.
Like even in Moana, he's The Rock. They just made The Rock into an animated character.
Yeah. It's the worst impression. It sucks. Like I think, I don't know. It's fine. And spin the wheel again. Get to the other really interesting one. Jack Bigger and Blacker. Jack Black is the fridge, and he is a black guy.
Do you want to take this? Do you want me?
I think Jack Black is one of like 7 or 8 white actors that we all love so much that we kind of let him get away with. I do.
Yeah. Oh, I don't disagree. I think you're right.
I was in a theater like that is sometimes I go to the screenings and it's like no people that are like press and media, and sometimes I go to one and it's filled with an audience. This one's filled with an audience. It was diverse kinda, but honestly mostly like black people and their kids, and they loved it, especially Jack Black. I was kind of like when it started, when he started doing his thing, I was looking, is this gonna be okay? And everybody I saw was enjoying it. So I think he did a good job too. That's the other thing. I don't think it felt like he was doing what is your standard like black guy accent. It really kind of did feel like he was doing the fridge. Like, I felt the character in there, and I think if he was just, like, doing, like, something completely different, like a Fat Albert, it would feel very weird and uncomfortable. But I think because he did such a good job, and because he's the only one that could do it, and he's the best part of the last one, I think it was, and because of how funny the situation of, like, him getting because last movie he got the one that was least him, so, like, now he's doing that again, but it's an even bigger stretch. I think it more or less worked.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see what people think. I'm sure there'll be some article on some website about how it's wrong, but like audiences, people that go see it, I want people to tweet us at nitpickingpod or Nando Movies or whatever. Not necessarily how you react, but how your audience reacted to that. Was anybody in an audience where people like got up and walked out, and were they all white people that, were like, this is, oh my God. Because the audience I saw with loved.
Okay.
I think they liked everything. I think the Rock stuff is fine, but then the other one, besides Ruby Roundhouse, who like you said is the same one it was. So we were kind of going through these before. You said one got worse and I said one was different. My different one was Jack Black. I think our worst is both The Rock, right?
Oh yeah.
And Ruby Roundhouse is the same, which would mean that Kevin Hart is better, which
yes.
The first thought coming out of the movie, and even during the movie, I was like, they fucking got it. Yes, you figured it out, what to do with this guy. Can you explain him and his whole deal?
Yeah, so did we talk about so Dan DeVito's character is named Eddie, and there's Milo. Right. We didn't talk about their, like, it all, right?
I was kind of going to get to that as the movie got to it, because we know a little bit about what their deal is when they start. Sure. It's just that they don't like each other and have some sort of beef in the beginning of the movie.
So, okay, sure. So they're both in the house when Jumanji decides to, like, take over. So Jumanji takes over. They get sucked in. So Kevin Hart is basically just Danny Glover, and it works so well because just talking his voice, and it's funny that the guy was to dole out information so slow. And even the things were like, majestic creatures. Like, he sounded like a guy who would do a documentary on animals that's like coming soon to Disney Plus. And again, it's it's an affect kind of thing. He changed his cadence and he did his voice, but like he didn't go so over the top. Like he didn't try to sound exactly like him. So like Jack Black, fine. Kevin Hart, fine. Just the fucking Rock one. Why did you have to make him go like, "Hey, I'm fucking Danny DeVito"? Like,
yeah,
come on.
I'm walking here. What's this, a Jumanji?
He would have been better off if he just went full fucking Brooklyn Pizza.
Yeah. Honestly, everything he did with a deeper voice would be fine. It would feel like you were like, oh yeah, I get it. It just felt so out of place. But more Kevin Hart, I think the thing that I really liked about him, so Danny DeVito in not in a traditional Danny DeVito movie, but a lot of the time, like Penguin, and he was in Batman, has a big chip on his shoulder, and that's what his character had here, even though he was the cool Spencer, or not Spencer, whatever, what's it, something Bravestone, forget, Dr. Bravestone, whatever.
Yeah, I don't forget his first name, but yeah, Dr. Bravestone.
Even though he was Dr. Bravestone, he was still, like, mad about everything, and also the most confused. But like you're saying, because everything with him was a question, like, wait, what's a video game?
Yeah.
The Danny Glover / Kevin Hart character, and Danny Glover in the beginning of the movie was much more chill and, like, nice and, like, friendly. So his character, and this is, I think, the other thing, besides just Kevin Hart being the one who's always, like, talking quickly and yelling at everyone, he's also always angry at everybody because of how much he hates the situation. But Danny Glover's Kevin Hart was very, like just kind of happy to be there. Like, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? And like you were saying, he is Kevin Hart's one who's the backpack guy, who in this, I forget if he was before, has zoology power, which...
Yes, he was that in the first one. He was zoology.
So every time something comes up... Yeah, I guess that's true, right? Because the snake bit. Yeah. It's the same bit, except it feels like Morgan Freeman nature documentary, like, March of the Penguins, like, and especially in the beginning of the movie with the ostrich bit, he has to do a lot of that, and it's really funny because of how much he just doesn't get the urge.
Yeah, he's so bad. He's just, like, stunned that, look at these ostriches. Oh, what a nice day.
They are majestic creatures, Rich. They can run at 45 miles per hour. He's great.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Kevin Hart, I would see many more of your movies if you did something like this. Mm-hmm. I think maybe he knows, too. Maybe he's like, I got to branch out. Like, and yeah, this is the absolute right decision for this character. I think they probably listened to people after the first one and were like, I liked everybody except for him. And he was good at it. Yeah. So those four spend a lot of time trying to do a thing, and the thing that is the problem is that the two old guys don't know what a video game is and stuff, and that's fine, whatever. They all got new powers, too. Do you remember what they are? I'm trying to think.
So, like, Ruby Roundhouse got nunchucks. That's cool.
Right, yeah. Spencer Bravestone got a weakness now. It's knife switchblade, which, what could that be?
Geometry. Jack Black gets geometry.
Right, which, like... Another one of those, like, setup payoff things that I'm like, no, that's not what this is, and also, who cares? But it's fine.
Yeah.
I forgot that scene happened. The geometry scene.
Yeah. Like,
just now, I was kind of going through all the scenes in my head. I remembered the ostrich scene. I remembered the stuff in the village, because that was great. And I was like, there's been something else that happened before they got to the thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was the geometry scene.
And then Kevin Hart got linguistics.
Right, so he could speak to animals. That was his bit. And that was also fun. It's like... Because he's laid back, he didn't yell like, where are we supposed to go? It was very much like, this llama or this camel has just to ride him, but he is not able to convince
camel. He is letting you ride her.
Yeah, like it was very good.
You know what it was? It was almost like a very like pleasant, like you're in the South and you're just at like a nice like a farm or a diner, and the wait cannot get you anything else, and you're like, this is just so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to spin the wheel one more time, land on DLC. So besides the plain one being back to do that one, we get two news. First one's Aquafina, who ends up being Spencer. And she doesn't really have a character besides just like being neurotic like Spencer.
She's the thief.
And she's the lockpick. Yeah, she's the rogue.
They made this, they're like, oh, let's turn this into more of like a D&D party, right? You know, because like...
Yes!
It's almost like Kevin Hart's a druid, The Rock's a fighter... Jack Black's like a paladin, I guess, or like, you know, like a Ruby Roundhouse's second fighter. So yeah, like let's make a D&D party.
And yeah, they find Aquafina in the thing, like in the, it just like they bump into her, and and she almost is winning. She's about to win, but the Rock foils her plan by accident.
Although she would have lost anyway. They're like, look, thief. And there was like 70 guys. Like,
yeah,
she wasn't gonna get the slip.
Yeah, she can't teleport or anything. Although maybe she was planning, I forget. Yeah, she could have been planning a Jumanji move to like throw herself into a fire holding the thing and then just respawn.
Honestly, that would be the move.
By now they should know it. It should be a plan that they have at one point. Because besides the fact that they don't have lives at the very end, that would have solved the problem. They could have used that to go where they needed to. But anyway, so I forgot, that's a character.
Sorry, I forgot to put this on the wheel, and I realized it was something that I thought. The movie at least did a better job with making the lives matter to this movie, so that's something. You know what I mean?
And now that the character's in a video game again, the fridge and roundhouse, they both kind of were able to, not like the system, but be like, okay, I think I know what we're supposed to do. Which was better, I think, than the last one where they were all just like, oh my god, I'm strong, and I guess we have to go to this, whatever. Because DJ, this is like a normal Jumanji, friends.
Oh,
it's got new levels and new threats, and it's mostly animals, which is classic Jumanji. You know, that's what Jumanji was. Most of it is the first one, not the first one.
Yeah.
And then the only other DLC character, the Brittany or whatever, Bethany comes in.
Yeah.
She is a horse now.
That was funny. I legitimately thought that was...
I didn't...
yeah. Well, no,
I
agree.
Go ahead. I mean, it was just really weird. I was like, wait, one of them's a horse?
Well, it's like, you've run out of characters, so here's a horse. And, like, I could have... I'm not, like, a genius, but I could have come up with, like, characters. Like, have a bow guy. Have a guy who bows.
An elf, yeah, or a bard, or someone that's just funny, who just has charisma.
Yeah, I don't know why you went with like horse, unless you were going for the joke, in which case,
yeah. And the horse is very important as the news, so it's good that it's there. All right, DJ, we have to talk about the most important part of this movie. DJ,
what's that?
It's the most important part of this movie because it finally answers the question from last movie about the most important part of this movie, which is the brothers Kababi and their hilarious dicks. DJ, I was so proud of the movie for getting almost all the way to the end before anybody had a dick thing going on.
Yeah, I don't know what the writer's issue is, but God, they love dick.
There's a writer who just cannot get over how funny his dick is. Like, it's unbelievable. Let's see who wrote this movie. Let's see if they're even...
We're not going to find the dick writer. There's probably so many.
Yeah, there's probably like 15 people. Well, this bit, I liked that. So, at one point, it's so dumb. They do a lot of stuff, and they end up at this mountain fortress thing. And Kevin Hart's one, and... Kevin Hart? Yeah, Kevin Hart and Jack Black's guys, who at this point have, like, recycled into their original bodies.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that shit.
I know. I just really wanted to get to the dick thing, but when I finish this part, we'll go back. They've recycled into their original bodies, and these two kind of go through the front door, and they almost make it, and someone's like, hey, are you the brothers Kababi? And then they're like... Yes. And then the brothers Kababi, we kind of heard, I think, mentioned once or twice. They are a team of some sort of like warlords from another part of Jumanji, I guess. North Jumanji or like whatever. Yeah. And they take an elevator ride with a guard, and the guard says, so which one of you is, Flansley Kababi? Like, I am. And he's like, oh, okay, well, which one that means the other one of you.
Stanley Kababi.
Yeah, Stanley Kababi. And then that guy's like, yeah, I'm that. And this one's, I think, Kevin Hart's one, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and you are the most dangerous eunuch in the world. And then there's a whole bit between Jack Black's one is the blonde girl now, and Kevin Hart's one is the fridge. They're just like, yep, but actually I'm not a eunuch. Nope, you are a very, very powerful eunuch. You don't have balls. You don't have testicles at all. No, but I do. And no, he doesn't. And then the guard is like, he does not have them. It's it's such a bit. And I wouldn't it wouldn't bother me. It just sticks out. Like maybe Jack Black is just that character's probably thinking about them.
He's like
let's have him vocalize that. Yeah.
Super into dicks.
The dick thing was me. Okay, but I did skip. Wait,
there's
sorry.
one part. So sorry, because like the whole thing with this bit is like, you know, Kevin Hart's like, no, I have balls, and Jack Black's like, no, and like I think at one part, Kevin Hart goes, he's like, my balls are here, and then Jack Black goes, in spirit, and I thought that was funny.
And the guy behind is like, in spirit, like the big giant guardian guy, and he was pretty funny. I think that bit wouldn't have worked except for that guy was really.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry because we skipped the village bit, which has a bunch of really funny bits. Bits that legitimately I was like, that's really funny. So first one, the splits up for a mission. Well, I guess no, even before that, the team has learned that they have to talk to, they need a fruit and a flame or something like that, right?
Yeah, because like this whole thing is just get like cryptic clue to figure out the whatever. So it's like, follow the flame to the fruit and then you will live or whatever.
That's right, yeah. So the flame is, I should look this up. I was wondering what actress is.
Was she just the Westworld person?
I think it's Danny Ramira on this. Like that character on IMDb does not have a name. She was Callisto in X-Men, which is just some background character who doesn't matter.
Okay.
She's in stuff. She's Alex on Entourage. I don't remember. Just a shame because I love me some Entourage. Anyway, she's like she's got a hot red dress on and she's very sexual and she's in the game has some relationship with Bravestone, some sort of pre-stone.
Yeah. Incestuous.
Incestuous.
No, yeah,
maybe
some kind of a fit.
We don't know where Jumanji is, you know?
I was going for like, lascivious? I don't know, some kind of, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, I think I know what word for. Like a
It doesn't matter.
I mean, we cut the silence, so we can be as we want. Not like lurid, but yeah, some sort of fit. Like she used to be his girlfriend, and then he dumped her, and now she's with some other guy who has a name, which we'll get to. But she is now like, oh my God, Bravestone, you're back in my life. You're so handsome. I love you so much.
Why is she Russian?
I don't know.
You made her Russian.
She's Jumanjin, DJ. And
I'm sorry, Jumanjin.
She's Jumanjin, as all of them are. A Jumanji is not only is it the Small World After All ride in terms of just everyone from every race with every ethnicity and accent is there together. It also covers like 15 different like regions as far as like mountains, jungle, like it's everything.
Yeah. It's the world, basically.
It's the Epcot Center, which is a video game, so sure. I wanted to say there's a bit where she says, because she is an NPC, she says, Bravestone, I'll find you upstairs. I love you so much. She gives him a big kiss. And this point, Danny DeVito is Bravestone. And Danny DeVito's like, wait, where am I supposed to find you? And she goes through that same conversation again that ends with a big kiss. And he's like, hold on a second, I forgot. Where am I finding you again?
Where am I going now?
That bit I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that.
So they split up. Spencer, who is Aquafina, so I'll just name him by the actors. Aquafina, The Rock, and Kevin Hart go to free camels because they need camels. And that bit's fine. But then Jack Black and Karen Gillan go to this like weird little level, and it's a tree with a fruit surrounded by flagpoles, and it's in the middle of like it seems like would be in any other situation a lake of acid. And
yes.
Karen Gillan's one as Ruby Roundhouse is like, I can do this. I'll just do a bunch of flips and I'll get there. She does, gets the fruit. She tries to do a flip and falls into the puddle or something and does not burst into flames. She just kind of wades out of it. And then Jack Black says, that's weird. And he dips his foot in. And then they have a body swap. And that's like a mechanic now.
Yeah, you can switch your characters, which should solve everything immediately. But get this, guys, it doesn't.
Not only does it not solve anything immediately, they swap back accidentally. So it doesn't even have any impact. It's just a way to introduce this weird little plot device that's going to set the movie, like set the third act in motion. But it's so weird because it's not. Yeah, there's no consequences. It's almost like you could just walked right through that river. It's not the only person or that like pool. If there's nobody else that touches it, you're fine.
And what happens? Let's say you and I are NPCs, and whatever. Let's say we go through that. What happens to us?
I guess we just wouldn't go because we're NPCs. But maybe.
Okay.
Throw the bad guy in there with the hot lady. See what happens.
Yeah.
Just cut the hot lady's head off or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But also, there's a bit that I also thought was really funny where the fridge as Karen Gillan is like, oh my god, I could do backflips, and look at me, I'm so cool. And the redhead as Jack Black is like, don't you touch the boobs. And he's like, oh, that's the first thing I did. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked there were a bunch of bits in this, and like kind of stretchy or like coming from the video gaminess. That's not bad. The conversation tree into a like kind of going through the romance bit multiple times is good. What Danny DeVito's Rock does when they're trying to get the camels out and he's standing guard, he just kills like 40 guys. That's pretty funny.
I was telling Nando, it's kind of like if you've ever played D&D, if you've ever been a DM or in a party where, because like part of the D&D conceit's kind of silly, and part of it's like a video game where like you're these very strong adventurers, and everyone you're walking around in towns and stuff are just guys. So like, if you wanted to, you could punch them into the moon, and you know, like you're not supposed to. Unless you're like a person in a new body, that's not like a thing that you would do. But sometimes parties will be like, "Oh yeah, we're murderers now," and then it's the DM. You gotta like balance it, important. But it's very reminiscent of something that like you may have encountered in D&D, where someone's like, "Wait, I'm strong," and everyone around me is like a wimp. So fuck it, let's do it.
And like
balls to the wall, people.
I think almost the same way that Captain America or Soldier went all in like using digital effects to make the guys that Captain America punches and kicks fly through the air. I think they did this with The Rock. They didn't do this in the first movie, and I was surprised at how good it looked. I'm like, you bring that into like a Spider-Man movie, and I'd kind of like it. Like the camera was very active. Guys were flying into walls and exploding the wall. That was pretty funny. Like everything but the accent. I enjoyed what The Rock was doing. It's just the accent was dumb.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Like even the attitude of realizing like, oh, I'm so strong. I'm so much stronger than everyone else. Let's go. Guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
Like that was fun.
Yeah.
It's just all the
got exploded by an ostrich.
Yeah.
But okay. So we get to the end of the movie. Oh, also the horse has been kidnapped, but it gets saved, whatever. They have to fight Mr. Villain Boy, old villain McGee, and they do. Ruby Roundhouse does her classic dance fighting, which sure, whatever. And she has nunchucks now because the setup payoff, right? And the Rock, who is now Spencer again, because they found the pool that they can all switch their right bodies back. The Rock goes and fights Mr. Villain Man on a dirigible.
Which
it's kind of, I think I said this in the last one. It was like, when does Jumanji take place? I kind of like that it takes place now in just like the nexus of time and reality where everyone wears furs and whatever, but they also have elevators and they also have blimps. Like, I don't know. It's kind of, in this one, it seemed more, what's the word? More deliberate. And that made it a little bit charming, kind of, that it's like this really silly, weird world that's not supposed to make where it isn't just like a world that's clearly in a setting, but also they have, a margarita mix in it. And it's like, well, they don't, though.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
Let's talk about, so that fight, I hated it. Because it just ends with they're like, oh, I can hit you with the thing. The berry. Your weakness is the berry, I guess. And so it is.
How does he figure that out?
They accidentally bump his chest. And
his
skill,
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Does every character in the whole Jumanji verse have that? And what was the version of that when Jumanji was a board game? What did that look like?
I don't think it existed. I just maybe the joke's getting smarter.
Yeah, because the worst part is that so in our pod last week, I said, oh, well, Nando, it has to be a sequel because the movie opens with the board game turning into a video game. This fucking whole thing would be better if they're just like, it's only a video game, board game never existed. This was the video game made by crazy programmer.
Yeah,
Bill
right?
Gates
like the
Jumanjo.
programmer Jumanjo. He's not a wizard anymore. He's been reincarnated. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and I think there's probably, if you're a 10-year-old who watches this movie, I don't think you'd go back and watch the old. And if you did, I don't think you'd enjoy it. So I think there's a lot of kids that just know this as a video game.
I mean, if they're really into the Jumanji verse, which we're basically reaching Jumanji cinematic universe.
Well, we need to bring back another character. And I think that'll happen in this next one because of the way it ends. I think we'll get one of the OG Jumanji characters.
Yes. Yeah.
I do want... So I think we're kind of at the end besides this last thing. But just touch on a thought that I had as I was done. Like, this would be the worst video game. If this came out as a video game, it would be god-awful. First of all, you could finish it in 2 hours, so everyone would get their money. Or, like, they'd be like, don't play it. It's a 2-hour game. And all of the challenges are to use the skill you have to do it. Like, make sure you have the right character doing the only thing that they do that contributes, and then you got it.
Yep.
Dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. There's no critical they don't have to use their abilities in interesting ways. They just use them.
And once you start doing the fight, you win the fight. It's not like there's, a challenge where it's like, this guy's better at marksmanship, but he's not perfect. They're all perfect at their thing.
That's the thing too. Like, a lot of them lose lives early in the game, but it's like stupid foul play. It's like nonsense because Danny DeVito and Danny Glover don't know how to do game. So if the four of them were just like, hey, let's do yearly Jumanji, they would be fine. Like, it would never be an issue. And
the other thing they don't do in this, so the one game mechanic that they forget about is, remember how in the first one you can use mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and give someone a life?
Yeah.
Can you do that if they're not dying from losing their last life?
Or if they're a horse?
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking so Spencer obviously as Bravestone has to do the last fight. I feel like if I'm the pilot who really burns his lives, but him and the horse come back with 3 lives when the ending starts, just everyone give Spencer a life and let him go crazy.
Yeah.
Or give him to anybody, just spread it around. But they don't do that. They he has 3 lives and he loses them because he just, I don't know, tries to do the Indiana Jones thing. This panel is murder and the next panel is murder. And
that was very confusing.
Yeah, it was dumb.
It's like a weird obstacle course with pressure plate. And,
but with no it's not a riddle. It's not some sort of timing thing.
Totally
it's
random.
Just good luck. Yeah. Probably should have been anyone else like Spencer could have done it. He could just jump really far.
Yeah, his power was having 3. That was Nick Jones'
pretty
power
much.
This time.
He never flew anything. He didn't get in the helicopter, or he didn't get in the dirigible and fly it in a helpful way. He was just there. Okay, we're gonna talk about that one spoiler now. So if you listen to the whole thing, it kills me. If you listen to the whole thing and you don't want to have this spoiled for you, I understand that.
Yeah.
And wait 6 months, watch it when it's on. Or take a kid. Don't go to the movie just one, but it is really funny. But okay, fair warning. 3, 2, 1. All right. So at the end of the movie, and I guess near the end we learn.
I forgot because I wanted to say the one prediction I had that didn't come true was the other thing. Okay, so wait, let's back up a little bit. Danny Glover.
I guess they're both Dannys, so Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. If that's why you want to make it easier to remember. Yeah.
So, Danny Glover tells Danny DeVito, "Hey, because he comes to repair their relationship, and Danny DeVito's like, why are you coming after all these years? It's like, oh shit, you're sick, aren't you? So what I naturally thought was, oh, he's gonna sacrifice him. He'll make the ultimate sacrifice that will somehow save the team. Nope, take it over, Nando."
So I don't know if anybody remembers last week when we were saying, not the laws of Jumanji, but things about Jumanji that no one considered, how not uncurious but uncreative they are with it. I asked the question, and this was before I saw it, if you were dying of a terminal illness forever, like that would be fine, and that would almost be, like I think you said that'd be like heaven, it'd be like paradise for someone who's about to die from a terminal illness. And what ends up happening is, and by this point, Danny Glover is the horse.
Yep.
So him and Danny DeVito reconcile. Like, you were a good friend. I mean, actually, it sounds like this: "You were a good friend," and the horse is like, "Nay," or whatever. Then at the end of the movie, they're like, "All right, let's all shake hands with Nigel Thornberry, Rhys Darby, and then we all get to go back to the real world." And they all do, except for Danny Glover says, hold up, everybody. He says through Jack Black in horse language, I'm not going back. Right. Through Kevin Hart.
And that's the crazy part. We don't even get to hear the own character say all this. It's like Kevin Hart, and he's back to being regular Kevin Hart, and he's like sad, like, oh no, he's gonna die. And the logic is, so we didn't say this because it doesn't fucking matter, but the horse flies at the end.
Yeah. Oh my god. They get the horse's stat tree, or like stat line. The what's his name? The Jonas brother sees it and he goes, "That's interesting," but we don't see what it is. But it's clearly flying, or it could turn into a dragon or something. And and it doesn't have Pegasus wings. It has like devil wings. It does a flying save to save what's his name. It's funny because, like I said, we're keeping this information from the audience, but I think the way they do that the first time is fine. He doesn't tell the rest of the team members, and he just like dives the horse off the cliff, kind of. Like, It's not like, guys, it's gonna be fine, I'll catch him, the horse can fly. He's like, don't worry guys, I've got a plan. And kind of an asshole for doing that to your friends. But anyway, so he's the horse. Horse can fly, so go on.
So Kevin Hart goes, "I'm 75 years old and I time," and like it's like, oh, that's beautiful. But so we hear like all this stuff about their like, and he goes, "What's fucking crazy is that Kevin Hart goes, he said that someone has to watch over this."
Yep.
What? What does that mean?
It's a video game, right? Yeah, and you're a horse. He doesn't switch back into any of the good ones. Or,
he's not The Rock or whatever.
Yeah, and he hasn't already met an army of horses that he can, like, use to help. And he's like, I'll lead the horses. But obviously, to do that, I have to be the horse one. He's just like, the horse can fly. I'll be the horse. Don't want to trouble anybody.
What's so dumb is that, like, they're trying to treat like this real tender moment where, like, Danny DeVito is, like, finally reconciling with Danny Glover. Like, oh, my God, he was my friend for so long. They're feud. It's whatever. They got mad about a diner that they used to. And it's like, oh, that's my friend. And, that's Milo for you. Like, man, someone would be so lucky to have a friend like him. They're talking about a fucking horse. Fucking horse.
And I thought Danny DeVito was going to stay. Well, did you think Danny DeVito was going to stay there, too, at that moment?
No, because I knew he was going to the grandson wouldn't let him. Be like, no, Grandpa, you have to come back. But it's kind of leave him alone in an entire world full of non-people. Right.
You know?
And no one can talk to him.
Yeah. At least give him Bravestone so we can go find that woman again.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's going to be like he's just going to have no purpose and be sad and be unable to die. I guess he could just fly into a volcano and that's his last life, but.
Right.
Yeah. But it's okay, DJ. It's the protector of Jumanji. Finally, Jumanji is safe. It'll be protected for all time.
By the horse.
By the horse. So the kids and Danny DeVito all escape Jumanji. And then...
And Nick Jonas. They all get out.
And Nick Jonas, right. Yeah. Inexplicably, they go to this diner. What don't they do before to the diner, DJ? Do you remember?
Destroy Jumanji.
Yeah, they don't even unplug it. Like,
yeah.
They just leave it. Like... Oh, man, gotta get to the diner as quickly as possible. Did you guys see when it accidentally sucked all of you up? Maybe destroy it for real this time. I don't know if it'll kill the horse, but at least unplug it. Like, it's a very dangerous situation. You all keep almost dying. Or tell your mom. You can even say, like, listen, I know you're not going to believe this, but this is what's happening. And maybe I'm crazy, but just please don't touch this game. put it in a cast iron box. We'll never turn it off because those are the rules. But if you let me do this, I'll be happy, and Dan DeVito will be happy. And also, don't ask what happened to Milo. He's good. He went to live on a farm in Jumanji, pretty much.
Oh my God, Milo's so they go to horse now.
Yeah, a flying horse, but not with the way you'd expect. So they go to the diner. They all have a great time. But then what happens, Steve?
We see. Sorry. So, by the way, the heater was broken this whole time in the house. So
that's right.
The heater guy comes. This guy comes, and he's just like your generic heater repairman. Nothing special about it. And for some reason, he's there to fix the heater, but he takes an incredible interest in this video. And he's like, "Oh my God, ma'am, is that a video game?" I used to be really into these video games, like a lot. And it wasn't like they did a comic book guy, like, oh, I'm like really into these. He was just like a repairman, right?
He's the guy that plays Coach on New Girl. Like, he's
okay.
He's an actor. You know, he's like a normal guy.
Yeah,
which is fine because normal guys play video games too. But
right.
It seems kind of out of place for him to just go touch it. You know?
He keeps asking about it, and then he goes to touch it. The mom's like, "Don't touch it," and he's like, "Fuck you, lady," and he releases Jumanji.
Yeah. You have one job, horseman. For one, and this is the thing DJ called me after he saw it, and this is what I was like. Do you think the horse was flying around? And he went up and did a big somersault because he's like, "Oh, my friends have left me, and I have a weird, confusing life now. But at least I get to guard Jumanji." And then he came back from a somersault, and everybody was gone. All the animals, all the people. And he's like, "Oh my God, it's so hard to. I wish I weren't the horse." Because if it was Bravestone, maybe I could have stood in front of the portal, I guess, that opened and protected it. But maybe he didn't. Maybe he was like, "Oh my God, a portal's sucking everyone up," and then he just tried to get in front of it, and they all just got through because he's a horse.
Yeah. So what happens is they're at the diner, and we see a bunch of ostriches running around the diner. Now, to be fair, maybe they got out from the zoo.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't Jumanji ostriches.
It seems like it's like for 100, so it'd have to be an ostrich breeder or something, but maybe.
All right, but let's say it is. Let's say it's Jumanji ostriches. What the fuck, guys? Where is this franchise now?
Going? Jumanji on Earth. You don't think? I think we're gonna do
that was the first one. Like the first one.
Yeah, but the kids haven't seen that one. And also, we just redid the first one again. Like, we did the first one pretty much a second time with slightly new characters. So why wouldn't we just do the first one a second time with all new characters and, like, CGI and stuff? Like, I think that's fine. It's probably cheaper. You don't have to make a Jumanji.
But what is there going to be The Rock? Is The Rock in it? What's going on? Will Spencer meet Bravestone? Like, what's going to be the premise?
That's how you do it. They all have to work with their guys, or they go to the game and just play turn the game on, and they all get their avatars back, something like that. I think you can get away with that.
I don't know.
I just think that's so funny. The horse, the protector. Finally, it's got a protector, and they used it. Oh, they're all gone. Everything's gone. There's been more chaos in Jumanji in the last 20 minutes while you've been protecting it than in the 100,000 years that it's existed.
Jumanji must be like, "Oh, I'm so great. I don't know. Success has never seemed more apparent. How did I do it?"
Well, so there's some normal things in Jumanji, like ostriches, right? And they're just rampaging down this. There's also some magic stuff in Jumanji. Like, what happens when that gets out?
I don't know. We're fucked.
I'm trying to think of. There's a couple of things that I'm like, that in the real world really work. I mean, the wards, that'd be weird. But maybe there's not that much besides the flying horse monster. It's actually kind of not grounded, but it is. Besides the weird pool of life switching, some smaller details. I don't know. It's about how I expected this movie to.
Is it really?
Well, I expected this movie to set up a sequel, and I expected the sequel to be this. Jumanji is now in the real world. I didn't expect it to end exactly like that, but I kind of figured by the end of this, there would be some hint that, a villain in Jumanji, the wizard Jumanjo, who's been living in Jumanji this whole time, is oh, I can finally have enough power. They've got me enough Jumanji points that I can open up a portal and take over the world, or at least Missouri, or whatever this takes place in.
I'm at the point where I feel so invested. I really do want to learn the origins of Jumanji.
Me too.
I really do.
I want to see where this wizard came up with the idea to make a game or whatever it was, but like a deck of playing cards. And
or like
then,
a pair of dice.
Yeah, right. I feel like if anything, it would be kind of like and this everything always has to come back to this in the show. Flashback Yu-Gi-Oh bits where it's like Seto Kaiba, Pharaoh Kaiba. I'm here to duel you with big giant stone tablets of animals. Like I feel like it'd have to be something like that. But then obviously one of them would be The Rock, and one would be Kevin Hart, one of them then this one would be a horse, I guess. I don't know who I would cast as the wizard Jumanjo. I've been thinking about this a lot last couple of.
Okay.
Who would be a fun like foil for them? Who's the other most bankable actor in the world?
So I wasn't gonna go with most bankable. Oh man. So run with me here. I need some yes-anding, some hardcore yes-anding.
All right.
John Oliver.
Okay. Yes and no.
No,
yeah, maybe,
really?
maybe.
Okay.
No, maybe.
I think that he could be so animated and so fun and so because Jumanjo has to be over the top.
Yes.
Like I don't know. I could see it like, hello, I am Jumanjo, the terror of your nightmares. I created this game to children a lesson, and they're like, nah, you're like a nerd. It's like what? No, because I don't think it can be a Bobby Cannavale or the Hound, like this serious, gritty, I'm scary. It's got to be like a goofball. Jumanjo's a goofball.
I could see it maybe be Vin Diesel as a goofball.
Okay.
Super nerd Vin Diesel who apparently hates The Rock. But
that would be
like
great.
John Oliver's not bad. There's probably a lot of comedians, Kumail Nanjiani or something, who would jump at the opportunity and pretend to play like Jafar. It depends on how confusing they want it all to be and when they want to set it and stuff. Still don't know anything about what it is. If Bravestone is some guy the wizard Jumanjo knew, but I think it'd have to be because there's no way you wouldn't put The Rock in this.
What about like a Mark Wahlberg? Could he be Jumanjo?
Oh, God, yes, please let him be Jumanjo. Oh, that'd be so great. What about like Will Smith?
Oh, he'd be a great Jumanjo.
He's pretty bankable.
And like kids, he's
yeah. Oh, and the kids love him. And stupid.
Yeah.
Aladdin moves very good. I was gonna say, or Tom Cruise. Make him the like stunning adventurer Nathan Drake type, who's just like, I mean, this doesn't work. But I think your wizard needs to be less of an adventurer and more of like a cool guy or like a smart, quiet guy. But I mean, he can still be animated. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it'll probably be like Ben Mendelsohn or something. But I think John Oliver could be fun.
Oh, I actually really like your Tom Cruise one. I think that.
I just love it when he's crazy. He's a crazy. He's trying to kill himself with stunts, and I'd love to see him just bouncing around like off the walls. I don't think he's been in a movie with The Rock, like, and that movie would make a bazillion dollars.
What about like Schwarzenegger?
Oh, I'd love it. I think that'd be great.
Could he be?
He'd be terrific. He's terrific at everything, and he's so lovable. Kind of like he's just a fun. I just always want to see him succeed. And I think we'll have to get back Mary Jane, whatever her name is, the actress. Like,
oh yeah, Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, no. I think we have to get her back. Yeah, Kirsten Dunst. Or I guess it would have to be Bonnie Hunt, but I think we have to get her back, and I think we have to get Bill Bellamy back. Still alive. But I haven't seen him in anything in a while.
It's a shame we can't get Robin Williams. Oh my God, do you think they'll go like CGI? But would they do it?
People would revolt. I think they know
would
that
they?
It would. Yeah, I think they would. I would revolt personally. I would definitely not see it if they CGI'd, because you can't do it. Like, it would never... You could have someone that looks like Robin Williams, but they'd have to, like, pretend to be Robin Williams. He's one of the most unique, like, voices in Hollywood, and, I don't know. I just don't think they'd be able to pull it off. Maybe, but that's why I think Will Smith may, because he's just the same guy,
I see.
Like, he's the guy that does his... What's his name? His Aladdin fill-in, so why not him? You know who I'll take? Oh, I like this one a lot. Mark Hamill.
Oh, Mark Hamill would be an amazing
half Joker, half Old Man Luke.
Hello, I'm Jumanjo.
No, you're not. I'm the Rock. I'm the tough one. I'm not gonna let you get away with this, Jumanjo. Listen, whoever writes these, some guy, 80 guys probably.
Whoever likes their dick and can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, a person either with the biggest dick in Hollywood or no dick. You have to call us and let us write your Jumanji prequel. Like Mark Hamill will be in it. I don't know, Ryan Reynolds or something. We'll just get those stars that can be in it.
Oh, what a great Jumanji.
Yeah, there'll be a guy that'll be in it, and it'll be fun. And it'll make $1 billion because it'll be Jumanji Origins, the first game or something. I don't know. Playtest. Jumanji Origins beta.
The Kickstarter.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so fun. Yeah, it'd be great. But yeah, so all in all, I didn't mind this movie. I didn't. I had a good enough time.
Do you know what got on Rotten Tomatoes?
I probably like the same as the last one. I'm guessing like 80. Oh no, we're 67. First one, when like I said, we did the high 70s, right? Or something like that. So, like many classic games, Jumanji: The Next Level retains core components of what came before while adding enough fresh bits to keep things playable. Like, yeah, I think that's about right. Like, I mean, Adam Graham of the Detroit News, his review is, "Don't bother, play an old-fashioned board game." I guess you could do both.
It's not a video game. Also, why an old-fashioned board game? The newer board games are so much better.
James Bernheim, another pointless and in this case brainless sequel. Again, I guess. Wow. I don't know.
These are way harsher than I would rate it. It's like
Grace
the same.
Randolph, someone who doesn't understand how these things. She's like, poof. It has some genuine thrills and laughs. Plus, Kevin Hart and Awkwafina are excellent. Simply not movie theater quality. What does movie theater quality mean?
Yeah, it's definitely movie theater quality.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's a good movie. Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. It was fine. Is that it? Is that like the whole story?
I think so.
I think so too. Do you want to get to our classic segment where we recommend some?
Hell yeah, I do.
What do you got to recommend to the fun?
Oh man, what do I have to recommend? I used like all my board games last week. It was slightly problematic. I have to think on a second. Could you go?
Okay.
Oh no, I got one. I got one. It's all right. This is like a weird one, but you're gonna have to like roll with me in this one.
Okay.
So it's a graphic novel.
Okay.
The name of the graphic novel is called Sex Criminals.
Oh, love Sex Criminals. Yeah.
Like okay.
Chip Zdarsky? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, what if I told you...
When did you start reading Sex Criminals?
So it got recommended to me at PAX, believe it or not. And I decided to check it out. Yeah. So, guys, what if I told you that you found out that when you have an orgasm, time stop? What if I told you that? That sounds like a 30 for 30. What if I told you... and then you were just like, I'm going to commit crimes. I'm going to commit crimes.
Why wouldn't you? Life is hard. You got to rob banks or whatever.
I don't want to spoil any of it, but there's like more to it. But it's super fun. I read the first volume and I'm into them. But yeah, I got a recommendation from it at PAX Unplugged, and I'm like, I took a flyer on it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, so, I think if it wasn't called Sex Criminals, like I'd be like, everyone should read this. It's one of the better graphic novel comic books to last like while. But I understand why people don't get it. Like, yeah.
It's out there, man. It's out there. So, yeah, I'm not slow to recommend it because like, it's quality. I'm slow to recommend it because of like...
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's like other stuff like Saga like that is like equally great, but also just as like, adult. But at least with Sex Criminals, you know what you're getting into, you know?
Yeah. So, that's my rec for the week. I haven't... New season of Destiny came out, so
I heard about that. Is it any good?
It's fine. The content's not what it was, but it's good. The story is like pretty solid. I know people have been playing Halo. That's like the new hotness. I have not.
Should we get on that? Are our friends that love Halo playing it?
So yeah, I know Jay is, and Devin was asking like, oh, would that be the new game that we could play with Nando? But Devin only plays mouse and keyboard now, and apparently Halo on mouse and keyboard is terrible, which I believe wholeheartedly.
It's like Destiny. It's like another, and it's like Apex. Those are mouse.
Yeah,
and keyboard.
I think something about the mouse and keyboard is like
interesting.
Yeah, that's So I've been hearing that, and yeah, that's like.
I'd be down to try it. I love replacing over, and everything keeps failing, but maybe this would be the thing.
I could see trying Halo. I just like I feel like I'm Haloed out. Because everything for Halo now is all just, hey, remember what Halo used to be? Oh, guys, with this we get to play Halo Reach, a game that came out 10 years ago and was really, really good. It's like, yeah, but give me new shit.
Yeah.
Give me that new shit. That's like my only gripe, though.
No, I get you. That makes
so, yeah, how about you?
I got 2 things to rec. I'm going to rec a book I've been reading. I like half recced this last week because I've heard this is good, but I'm about halfway through. And by book, I mean like graphic novel called Klaus. It is the dark origin of Santa Claus, and like it frames itself kind of like a Game of Thronesy kind of thing, where there's just like a guy who used to be a soldier, or like I forget. He's like a guy who used to live in a village and be part of their army or whatever, and then he got kicked out, and now he's coming back for revenge, and he's accidentally becoming Santa Claus kind of. And it's not like comedy, but it's funny because it's got all my favorite like prequel bullshit where you know where it's going to end, and like the ending is going to be he is going to be Santa Claus. So every time he does something, and oh, that's a Santa Claus thing, but they're getting at it from the other end, you know? Like they're like, how did you get here? Like he's like, they're like, patrol the streets. Don't let him get away. And he's like, how am I going to get into this house I have to get into? I'll go on the rooftop in the chimney. And like, you know, it's funny. But it's well written. It's by Grant Morrison. The art is lovely. It's by Dan Mora. I would say if you're into like a nice Christmas graphic novel, it's
I didn't even know Christmas graphic novels were a thing. So
neither did I. This is the first one I've read, and I think like everyone has their favorite Christmas movie and their favorite Christmas TV series like special. So why not everybody get their favorite Christmas graphic novel too? And so far, this is the only. I mean, there have been like comic storylines that are like, what if the X-Men had to fight Santa Claus and stuff? So I guess you could find those too. Because Santa Claus is a mutant and he is an Omega level mutant, potentially one of the most powerful ones on Earth.
Oh wow,
yeah, you want to watch out for him. But the other thing I was going to recommend, because I have the DC streaming service, DC Universe, because I wanted to watch the Harley Quinn show, which I love. Hasn't been a new episode since we did the last pod, but I just had some time. I was doing some editing. I was like, I'll put something on in the background, and I watched one of the cartoon movies, one of recent ones. That's The Death of Superman. So it's like an adaptation of what I think is one of the worst. I hated that comic storyline where it's just like, what if Doomsday and Superman punched each other and he was dead? But the way they set it up and kind of set it in the world that already exists of like DC animated movies. So it's like there's more Justice League presence, and it's just an interesting kind of fun story, but also it feels like anime because it really is just like One Punch Man, where like Superman is punching Doomsday, and Doomsday's flying into the air, and he's like pretty much teleporting next to Doomsday, and he's hitting him with like, it's really, I found it was fun to watch, and it's cool because like it's a foregone conclusion that Superman is going to die. The movie is called The Death of Superman. And you know this Doomsday guy is going to kill him. So you watch all the other Leaguers before Superman gets there kind of try to intervene. And it's fun and like kind of like almost like a little scary to watch like Green Lantern be like, I got this, guys. And then he goes in and just gets murdered. Like he doesn't die, but like pretty much murdered. Everybody tries and everybody fails. So if you have the DC streaming service, you can watch all that stuff. They made The Death of Superman. The other thing that's interesting about it, it keeps seeding the 4 fake Supermen. So the reign of the Superman movie comes next, and there's like the 4 pretenders to the Superman throne, the Eradicator, Cyborg Superman, Superboy, or Metropolis Kid or whatever, and Steel. And there's like little bits where stuff's like, hey, what are you working on there? Oh, nothing. This experiment isn't, but it will be just as good as Superman Day. So like, you know, I want to watch the next one, but I was like finished it, like, so that wasn't happening. But yeah, if you have the DC universe, which honestly, like between the comics, between reading Gotham Central, which I like a lot, watching the Harley Quinn show that I like a lot too, and then going through these movies, I'm kind of getting my money's worth, and I'm really surprised that I am. Like, I go to this before I go to Disney Plus, which is so weird.
Yeah, I think that so Bill Simmons made this point in his podcast that like you could be of a couple minds on this, like this new streaming era we're in, where, and I think I agree, where it's either, man, they're making us pay for everything, but conversely, you could say you could only pay for like what you want to see.
Yeah.
So like Disney has this like incredible advantage of like a lot of like back catalog stuff and just owning so much stuff, but it's very little new stuff. And then you have like Apple TV, which is trying to make a lot of new stuff, but it all sucks. Like all the Apple TV shows are terrible. Yeah.
Well, we're 2 episodes away from The Mandalorian being done, right? So there were definitely people that were like, I'll wait for my free trial, once The Mandalorian's done, I'll watch the whole thing, and I'll get it without, or not even a free trial, but just I'll wait for 1 month and pay whatever $7 for an 8-hour movie. It's like pretty reasonable, or not. I guess it probably won't be. It's probably like 5.5 because the episodes are short. So if that's another thing you can, because if you're in it for The Mandalorian, which is more or less what I'm in it for, once that's done, it's gonna be like, well, I'll wait until they finish the Falcon show in 7 months. So that's why I think the DC one's a little better. If you like the thing that it is, there's a lot of what it is to
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh yeah.
If you're all
there's
in,
like
you
more
can really
to
get
feed
it.
you. It's not like Disney Plus comes with like the Marvel comic thing.
If it did, that would be great. I would love that. But it doesn't. But yeah, I think that as a selling point of the DC thing, I didn't expect it to be as big of a as great as it is. But it's like you read whatever you want. So much stuff.
Right.
So yeah, if anyone wants to try it out, I recommend it. The app is good. It does the good thing where you can click through. You know how some comics you can press on a panel and then just like swipe from panel to panel to panel to panel. So it's organized in a way that makes it fun to read on a phone. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know. Nice. I like it. But yeah, next week, do you want to do a Star Wars thing?
We never did 8, right?
No, we never did. And listen,
I'd love to argue. Man, I just want to argue so badly.
All I posted on Twitter was, hey, Last Jedi, huh?
I saw that post.
So many opinions. And if you have opinions, that's great. But it's so opinionable. It's so crazy.
Let's do it though. We never do those.
Yeah. No, okay, so I posted, guys, The Last Jedi, huh? Got 576 likes and 81 comments. Like, that's more comments than anything I post. So, awesome. Yeah, let's do Last Jedi.
So I think I'd like to say, and I realize I should say this not on the pod, but I guess I'll just delete it if you want me to say it. But we should absolutely get digging because he's like one of the Star Wars Episode 8 vanguards.
But I feel like it's so, I don't know.
People want him. They want him.
But he'll hate the nitpicking part. The part that is the show.
We'll figure it out.
We'll talk to him. I think we could too. I just maybe it could be fun. The people do want Diggins back, and
I think
if Diggins is cool with my nitpicking of the movie, then sure,
we'll clear it with him. It'll be like it'll be like when all those interviews with Bill Cosby, like way back, not back in the day, but it was like you can't ask him about this stuff. The only reason you would talk to Bill Cosby,
right?
You can't ask him about that. So why the fuck am I talking to Bill Cosby?
It's like how if you go on Bill Maher's show and he's like, science, it's not even real, or like he's like, man, the pharmaceutical industry, and you're like, I mean, but germs, right? And he's like, let's not go there because I don't believe in him because I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I think it would be fun. He's a big fan of Ruin Johnson. No, just kidding. I like Ryan Johnson.
We should make this happen.
I'm supposed to watch Brick this week. A lot of people have recommended I've never seen it, but
how do you feel
Knives Out.
About a lot of the Star Wars actors now shitting on Episode 8? I think it's a real weak move.
It's kind of weak, but I don't know. I have trouble with it, right? Because on one hand, yeah, you're John Boyega. This has turned you into a big star that'll be able to get movies, unless you're the Aladdin kid. I guess maybe this doesn't translate as well as you'd expect, but like this made you. But on the other hand, like, I don't know. I think it's okay. I've always been okay with an actor, not necessarily shitting on it, but just kind of being a little bit honest about it. Just like people saying, like, I thought it was disappointing that you guys were on your own the whole time. I see him being like, yeah, it was a little weird, but I mean, because none of them so far have said like the movie was bad or something. They
That's
are
true.
Just like it kind of
shitting on
it too.
Yeah, shitting on it's way too hard. That's not.
It's tough though.
True.
No, because I have thought about this a lot this week. Because and we'll get to this, I'm not the biggest fan of Last Jedi. I think I've seen it twice. Like, it didn't leave very much of a lasting impression on me. I imagine if you're in it, you must just hear about it constantly. Like,
well, that's the deal, right? Like, all right, dude, your stock's about to blow up, but you're going to be in Star Wars, the only thing anyone's going to talk to you about. Because the fans are crazy.
Even more than that, though, like, I feel like Luke, when Mark Hamill did it, or even, like, I don't know, like, when they did this for 7, I feel like the fans were like, wow, interesting Star Wars theory. I didn't like this part. Mary Sue or whatever. But the discourse around Last Jedi specifically is so aggressive that I think I don't think there has been a movie that has come out that could give an actor more grief than it has given the cast of this movie. So I almost don't judge any way they react to it, because it's like, it's not just that your fans will be like, you're in Star Wars, I thought this part was weird. There are people that are like, you ruined Star Wars. It's everybody else that's done
ridiculous.
That. Like the kid Jake Lloyd, it like ruined his life. The one that was Anakin, Ahmad Best, the one that was Jar Jar, like apparently almost committed suicide or something. So like, if that's what you need to do to get by and just be a little bit honest, then sure. And I heard what he was saying about Kelly Marie Tran, kind of. You read that? He said something that came off like a little. The way he cleared it up, I get it. But he was just talking about like, and you see her, and it just sucks. Like fans are weird, and I understand people, and I coming for someone that also didn't really have a strong opinion or like care for it. It's like, it's hard to have no opinion about this movie.
Yeah, it's true.
There's people I know online that will be like, it's the best Star Wars movie ever, the best movie last year. I'm like, think that. You just don't want it. Like, you don't want the people that are so hateful that they make Kelly Marie Tran's life, you don't want them to win. But I don't know what to do about that, really.
I think there are people who might think it's the best movie. I do think
I think so too. But it's not that I don't think there's people who think that. It's that they get super defensive about it to a level where it's like, you don't like, it's not such an amazing movie. I don't think it's such an amazing movie in your mind that you, apropos of nothing, just have to tweet like every other day, like, Star Wars is so amazing and The Last Jedi is so great. Like, people just don't react that way with other movies.
Right.
But I think there's the defensiveness about it that I think is reasonable, kind of. But it's just part of why the online reaction to The Last Jedi is so difficult, is because you can't engage without getting on one extreme or the other, regardless of where, because, I don't think it's the best Star Wars movie ever. I don't think it's the worst. I don't know.
So we're doing it.
The Mandalorian. Yeah, we're doing it. And we'll be critical in a nitpicking sense, but we're, that's what the people
No, I think
want.
we should go full heel. I think we should just we go first take, ESPN debate style. One side, I'll moderate, you take hate, Diggins takes love, and then we just duke it out. We just go full 2019, full polarization.
You guys, you have that, and I'll just have, like, Diggins can talk, and I'll just have the Red Letter Media review of it, and I'll just play it as my thing. I'd like to cede my time to Mike and Jay over here. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. And that's not to say I don't love their review, because I think it's very funny. I think I make some good points. That's the thing, too. I think everybody makes good points about it, unless they're horrible people, Like,
yeah.
I've heard every side of it, and there's no side of it that I haven't been like, yeah, no, I get that. That's the weird part about it. If you told me you hated Avengers, or like, I think there's movies like, I don't know, like Die Hard or like Good Will Hunting, where like you criticize it, and that's a weird, like, I don't see that. I think this movie is perfect. Right. Or a perfect version of what it wants to be. But then there's stuff like Last Jedi where there's just so many criticisms and praises of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true too. It's so weird. It's so weird. That and the Snyder Cut, if they didn't exist, I don't know if Twitter would stay afloat. Go on Twitter right now. And I have nothing against Snyder Cut either. Maybe I'd like to watch it. I don't care. Go on Twitter, find anything Warner Brothers tweets. Let's see Brothers on their Twitter account. And it's not that it's bad. It's not that the fans necessarily are bad. It's just a weird, like, phenomenon.
I think just some things people cape up for, and like that's their thing that they want to be like, I feel a way about this. That's that.
So like, okay, this is the trailer for and tweet that. They tweeted. Okay, so Warner Brothers tweeted, this is on the 12th, so yesterday. Am I watching Elf for the 2,406th time? Or sorry, 2,746th time? And then they made a big no out of the word yes. So just like a cute little thing.
Okay.
First response. if you hashtag release the Snyder Cut of Justice League Warner Brothers, we may end up watching it 5,000 times, maybe more. We're that excited for it. Second response, it's time. Shot of the Snyder Cut. Third response, are you releasing the hashtag Snyder Cut? Yes, 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 yes. Made of no. Release the Snyder Cut already. Hashtag #1 trending. Release the Snyder Cut. Like it's so much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's so much. And like I said, I have nothing against the Snyder Cut. I'd like to watch it someday. Double feature, Snyder Cut, New Mutants. Get a bag of popcorn.
Yes, please.
It's just like the internet just amplifies these things to a point where it's not even kind of fun. It's so weird. And because I make YouTube videos and like I have to kind of stay connected to all this, you just see it happening slowly, and then it builds, and then it never like simmers down, you know? There's not an arc. There is a upward slope, and then just like it plateaus and stays at 100 forever.
All right.
The world, man. It's great.
I didn't think that's where this conversation was going, but yeah, it was cool.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get to some of this next week, especially if they go on. Anything to plug, DJ?
I got nothing.
You want to plug the clothes again?
Oh, wait, the Etsy shop? Oh, yeah. MC Marvelous Market on Etsy. If you haven't done Christmas shopping yet, buy some cool ornaments. There's a Black Panther ornament. There's a Merry Christmas ornament. There's some others that I can't think of right now. The Black Panther one's pretty... So for those Marvel fans that you have, a nice little ornament.
Nice.
So, yeah, check it out. Etsy MC Marvelous Market.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a video coming out probably tomorrow, but I was talking about that last week. And sometimes I'm like, I got to get this video out today. And a lot of other times I'm like, yeah, I'll just take time, whatever. And this is one of those. You know what? So video Saturday was probably the day this will come, or the day after. Maybe something else on Wednesday of next week. Who knows? Keep your eye out for it. It'll be a fun little thing. Yeah, cool. You won't hear anything about it and it goes out. But besides that, that's all I got. We are at Nitpicking Pod on Twitter. I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woo-hoo.